Good morning. Hey y'all. I'm Katie. I'm a 47-year-old makeup artist. I help women with their confidence and sharing easy to follow makeup tips. So let's get right into it. It is Monday morning and I'm getting ready. I'm going to start off with my skin prep. Skin prep is so important. I'm going to use some micellar cleansing water just to clean the face off. Just so you know, in case you didn't know, Pharmacy does have a deal going on right now. Opie, stop. My dog is walking around whining and he just came in from outside, so I don't know what his deal is. But anyway, there is a deal going on until 10:59 Central tonight. The deal is that when you spend between $60 and $99, you can choose a free cleanser of your choice from any of our skincare lines, including our micellar cleansing water. So that is such a great deal. And then if you spend over $100, you can get the cleanser plus an under eye cream of your choice. And I'm gonna use the Aqua Eye Cream today. I do use these skin prep products on all of my makeover clients. And if you are experiencing dry under eyes, lots of texture, fine lines under your eyes, you feel like your makeup looks horrible under your eyes, then you really should incorporate an under eye cream to your routine if you're not already doing so. And you want to do it before you put your makeup on so that your under eyes are hydrated. So I'm using a serum right now. I did the micellar cleansing water, then I did the Age Reversist toner, and now I'm doing the vitamin C glow serum. And then I'm gonna do the calendula face cream. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit here. There we go. All right, so calendula face cream. This is a great moisturizer. Calendula is great for sensitive skin and dry skin. It's winter time, so we need all the moisturizing we can get. So make sure right now, with it being winter and being cold, that you are putting face cream or moisturizer on your face twice a day. It's really going to be a game changer in how good your makeup looks with how hydrated your skin is. So, good morning, Donna. If you're hopping on, please say hi. And if you're catching the replay, then put a 2 in the comments. So what I'm going to be doing today is actually I'm creating a video to recreate a makeover that I did on Saturday for my client, Deandra. She was my Tinsel Trail makeover contest giveaway winner, and I was so excited that she won because she's one of my longtime customers, and so she won the free makeover. I'm going to pin my shopping link here in the comments for anyone who needs to grab products or refills. Good morning, Chandra. How are you? Great to see you. And there we go. The comment is pinned. All right, the last step in the skin prep process is the Aqua Eye Cream. This stuff is so good with your under eyes and providing hydration. And I've seen a big difference when I put this on my makeup clients before I do their makeup. And so you can get this for free right now. When you spend over $100 with Pharmacy, you're gonna get to choose a cleanser and an under eye cream. So yes, Donna, she did. And we did a soft glam. She was gonna go to dinner with her husband, and we just did kind of a soft glam look for her. She really loved it. And I think it's something that everybody can do. I don't think it was too difficult. We did underpainting, which does allow you to use less foundation, which is really great for mature skin. If you feel like, and this wasn't the case with her, but if you feel like, I hear this a lot from my clients and my customers, if you feel like your foundation is settling into fine lines, then less foundation is going to be key. So doing underpainting is going to be a great way for you to achieve the look that you want. Okay, I am going to comb through my eyebrows. I'm gonna wait and do them. I usually do them first, but I can tell that I've got some of my skin prep product on it, so I'm gonna let those dry. So I have a little bit of bad news, but we're gonna turn it into a positive because this is Monday morning. And there's no negative Nancy's here, no Debbie Downers, okay? I haven't even shared this with my team yet because it's not 8 o'clock yet, and I don't post in our team chat until after 8, but there are a couple of you watching, so you will learn this right now. I learned over the weekend that it seems that Pharmacy has discontinued our eye primer. So we're going to pivot, and we're going to use, I was looking for a brush that I want to use. We are going to use concealer for the time being, and we are going to send Pharmacy's corporate customer service messages and beg them to bring it back. And if enough of us do that, maybe they'll bring it back. They did that with, I'm not finding the brush that I want. Hang on, you guys. They did that with our micellar cleansing water. They took it away. We loved it so much. We were so disappointed that we all asked for it to come back, and they brought it back. So I'm hoping we can do that with eye primer, because I'm gonna tell you what, I love our eye primer, and I know that many of my customers do as well. So none of that settling with your VFX. Well, that is great. Yeah, so I encourage you as a customer and as an influencer, if you are upset, aggravated, frustrated, disappointed, any of those types of emotions about our eye primer, and then I suggest you send a customer service ticket through your account and tell Pharmacy just how much you love it and how much you want them to bring it back. I believe they listen to us. They really do. I've never seen a company listen to the field as much as Pharmacy does. I'm not saying that they're gonna bring it back. I'm not promising. Flood customer service. That's right, Donna. That's what we need to do. I actually did have someone over the weekend message me asking about it, and when I told her it had been discontinued, that's exactly, I said, you know, and a lot of times, this is another thing, so just don't get your panties in a bunch right away, okay? A lot of times, Pharmacy will discontinue something and they bring it back with a better, improved formula. So, and I have seen them doing that. They did that with our setting powders. They took them away. They made them talc free and then brought them back. So it's possible. I just don't know the inside scoop. I'm not privy to why they discontinued it. It could be that they are gonna bring it back. I just don't know. I don't know for sure. So the best thing we can do is let our voices be heard. And that's what I plan to do. And I planned on sending a message to my team today about this very topic and same exact thing. So those of you who are on my team who are watching, you just got the heads up. you got a preview. But I'm using a setting powder just to set the concealer. We're just gonna use concealer in the time being, okay? And that's what I did with Deandra on Saturday. I used concealer to prep her eyes and setting powder. I'm gonna go ahead and put some Blur primer down my T-zone. Again, I'm doing everything that I did with Deandra on Saturday. I believe Deandra is in her 50s and she looks amazing. She is a beautiful person inside and out. And the reason I'm telling you her age range is because I do get a lot of questions from women for skin concerns for over 40, over 50. I'm 47 and a half myself. I get it. Skin changes and we just have to adapt. And as the, you know, trendy verbiage is these days, pivot. It's all about how you pivot, right? What is it they say that life is 80% what happens, no, 10% what happens to you, 90% how you deal with it. So that's your Monday morning motivation right there, okay? All right, we got our primer on the face. We're gonna let that dry so we can go back to the eyes. And for her eyes, I used the Desert Sands eyeshadow palette. This is this one here. We're gonna use this color for the transition shade. This color, which you can see the pan, in the crease as the outer corner and crease. And then we did this vanilla color in the inner corner, and then we put a little bit of glitter on top just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Okay, so when you do your transition shade, you basically want to use like a fluffy brush. So I'm gonna grab a skinny fluffy brush here, and I'm gonna use that first color we talked about. My throat's getting dry, sorry. All right, it's very cold here today. So we have the, you know, the heaters going and everything like that. The air inside is probably really dry. So, all right, so I'm placing my transition shade above my natural crease with my eyes open. And I'm kind of going up towards the eyebrow, but I'm gonna leave some space, okay? I'm not going all the way up to the brow. And I'm focusing on the outer half of the eye. Okay, that is our transition shade. Gonna do the same thing on this side. With the eye open, looking straight ahead, you're gonna place that color right above your natural crease. I'm doing small circles with a white hand to blend the color up and out. Okay? All right, then I am going to take a brush that has more of a compact bristle type, like this one. We're gonna dig into that deeper brown color that's hitting the pan. You can tell I use that color in this palette a lot. I use dark brown a lot. And then what we're gonna do, if you have hooded eyes like she did, and I have slightly hooded eyes, but if you have more hooded eyes, you may have to raise your eyebrow up to smooth out the skin while you do this part, because you want to make sure that you get into the folds of your eye. And I am pressing this on, and it's going to look messy at first, and that is okay. Okay? So just tap it on. And again, you want to make sure that you come up high enough that you can see it with your eyes open. And you're just going to stamp the color around basically the outer half of your eye. And then I'm going to go back to that original brush that I used. I'm going to make sure it's cleaned off. I don't want there to be any eyeshadow on it. And I'm just going to lightly kind of just dust that darker color off a little bit. We're just kind of blending, but we're not doing any super blending, just a little bit. And I am going to take that one brush also and go underneath the eye. Underneath the eye with whatever was on the brush. And I do want to go back and deepen that in a little bit more now that I've dissipated it by blending it out. I'm just going to tap it on. And at this is the part where you just do this to your liking. You can keep going back over it with the dark until you have it like you like it. Okay, again, if you're hopping on, please say hi, let me know that you're here. And yeah, if you're watching the replay, put a 2 in the comments. All right, so there's that. Then we're going to use a vanilla color, our lightest shade from the palette. And we're just gonna go in the inner corner and just tap it on. Okay, so the biggest secrets or the tips for hooded eyes is you want to place your darkest colors on the outer corner, lightest colors on the inner corner. Okay, I'm going to use a makeup wipe to do some cleanup around my eyes. This is a pretty simple and quick eyeshadow look. It's not going to take a bunch of time. Okay, and then we're just going to grab, if you're just hopping on, this was the transition shade. This was the outer corner. This is the inner corner. And now I'm just going to take some glitter with my finger. So now the difference with putting glitter on your finger and then putting it to your eyelid, if you swipe across, you're going to get a heavier glitter look. Hi, Gina. How are you? Good morning. But if you just tap it on, then you're going to have less. And so I just wanted just a little soft touch. We didn't want anything real heavy. So I just dabbed it on, and I basically did like in the middle of the eye and then open the eye and then see like where else you might need to bring it up just a little bit if you want it to be seen up here with your eyes open. But it's just kind of a subtle glittery look, and it's not anything real heavy, but it's just a little extra something extra, you know? I'm gonna do a little bit more. And again, you want to tap it unless you want it to be a heavier glittery look. Then you can swipe your finger. Can you guys see that? I'm going to zoom in just a minute just so you can see that. And then I'll zoom back out to finish. I'm gonna do some eyeliner. I did do a deep brown eyeliner on her. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. Hold on, let me get rid of these. I wish I could get rid of the comments here for a second. They're staying up. Okay, let's see. Ugh. All right, we zoomed in. Okay, so you see now where I placed the glitter? And then I'm gonna take that original brush too. It has just a little bit of that light still on it, and just kind of clean up around there. And now I'm gonna zoom back out. If I can. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't get, there we go. Let's say I hope I don't get stuck like that. Okay, I'm gonna do a deep brown eyeliner. So I'm just gonna do my waterline. There is a trick where you can close your eyelid and just pop it up, but I'm just going to, I don't wanna, I should have done it before I did my glitter. If I do that, I'm gonna get glitter on my fingers. But you just wanna do the waterline and just do the outer corner. I know right now I'm kind of stretching my eyelid, and you shouldn't do that. I was just trying to lift it, is what I was trying to do. So that I could get to my waterline a little easier. If you want to do the eyeliner on the bottom part, you can as well. I recommend only coming halfway across. Hush, hush. So that you're not giving your eyes too much of a closed-in, dark, harsh look. Again, we're using dark brown instead of black, because black eyeliner, especially all the way around the eye, is really gonna look harsh and close in your eye. I don't recommend that at all. Hi Angie, good morning. So place your eyeliner on the outer half of your upper waterline and the bottom half of the bottom, okay? And then if you want to go back and add some more eyeshadow underneath to kind of smoke it out a little bit, you can do that as well. I'm going to take some of that darker brown on a Q-tip and just kind of run it underneath, just to kind of give it a little bit more. And again, I'm only going halfway. I'm not doing the entire eye. That is going to help your eyes stay more open looking. As we're getting older and our eyes are getting hooded, it's sagging down, so you want to do things that are going to help it look more open and bigger, wider and vibrant, things like that. Okay, all right, so that was the eye look. So I'm recreating a makeover look that I did on Saturday. And don't forget about the promo that we have going on right now. It ends tonight at 10:59 Central. And that is where, when you spend between $60 and $99, you get a free cleanser of your choice, which includes the micellar cleansing water. If you spend over $100, you get the cleanser plus an eye cream. All right, so we're gonna do underpainting. So I used our really like deeper, darker liquid bronzer for her. And what I'm gonna do is actually place it on the back of my hand. I know I showed you guys a video last week with liquids that where you placed them on your face. And then did your concealer last. That was, you know, a tip. This is also another way you can do it, by putting it on the back of your hand. This is actually the way that I typically do it, but I just don't think everyone is going to do it that way. So that is why I like to show you guys different techniques. Not everybody's gonna like doing it this way, so they'll do the other way. Some people are not gonna like doing it the other way, and they're gonna wanna do it this way. So basically what you're gonna do is find your cheekbone, press into your skin, find your cheekbone, and then place your bronzer at your cheekbone, okay? Or you can do a fish face, find the hollow and go above the hollow. So my cheekbone is here, and I'm just gonna tap this on. Now, I think the other day, I'm trying to remember what day it was, I went live and did my makeup, and I said you guys could do a C. So a lot of times the department stores, they used to teach contour doing a C like this. So then you can just go back in and kind of tap over it, blend it, blend it, blend it. I'm gonna grab what's on the back of my hand and keep going. Gonna do the forehead. Just gonna use up with the back of my hand product before I add any more. When we're doing underpainting, you can be messy. We're gonna be putting foundation over this. And you can do a lot more, like you can get away with it being too much because it's going to be toned down, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that was the contour. I'm going to go ahead and just use what's on my brush to just go underneath my chin and my jawline. I don't want to put a whole lot of product here. I just want it to be like a shadow. So I'm going to go right underneath to snatch out the jawline. So there we go. And then I do want to do some nose contour. I need a smaller brush, so let me find, here we go. This is the brush I want to use. I'm just gonna go right down the nose. All right, again, we're going to fix it. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my liquid blush. I'm gonna use the color Honor. On Saturday, I used Fame on Deandra. So the one thing I'm gonna do differently on myself because of the colors I'm wearing today is I'm gonna do this blush called Honor. So again, I'm sticking it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna grab my brush and tap into the back of my hand and then place it right above the bronzer. So with over 40, the blush placement, you're gonna wanna go at an angle up to your hairline, and you want to stop where the color of your eye starts. Okay, that's how far you want to bring it down. All right, we're going to use our Beauty Blender to soften everything up. It's dampened. It's a dampened sponge, and you're just going to go press lightly to just blend things out. And I know that blush looks scary right now. It's okay. I promise. Just gonna tone down the nose a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my foundation, and this is where we can get away with using a lot less foundation because we've already done the contour and the blush. And I'm telling you, when I used like a pump and a half maybe on Deandra. So I don't know if it's Deandra or Deandra. I don't even know. I opened up a new bottle of VFX today. So we did use VFX foundation, number 10 on her, because she's really nice and tan. I'm gonna do 2 pumps, because I'm normally like a 4 or 5 pump girl. I'm gonna I need to get a new kabuki brush from down here. Okay, I'm gonna take my kabuki brush and I'm gonna spray a little bit of setting spray. And I'm gonna take my brush once again to the back of my hand, and then I'm going to place the foundation. This is only 2 pumps, like I said. Just doing a little bit, going underneath the bronzer, stippling it on there, across the chin, and then we're gonna go up the sides of the nose, around the mouth, a little bit on the nose, and on the forehead. I've actually been using the Air Glow foundation a lot lately. I know it's about to be discontinued, but I've actually been using it a lot lately, and I like it. But they said they're going to be replacing it with something better. So there you go. Remember, silver lining. And then we're just gonna go back in and tap in with that dampened beauty sponge. We still have concealer to do. Gonna bring it down the side of the face and onto the neck. I'm just making sure I don't have a harsh line right here. I'm just going back and forth, just tapping until it's blended. Tapping, I'm not rubbing, I'm not doing circles. Everything is a tapping motion to blend. Just get that blush more blended. There we go. Let me bring this down. Okay, so then we're gonna do concealer. So this is also a trick that she asked me. So Donna, if you're still watching, I did a makeover recently where you asked if I used Instant Perfecting Cream under someone's eyes. And I said, no, I did concealer only. This was something also that Deandra asked about on Saturday when she looked under her eyes. She was like, what did you use under my eyes? Just concealer. But let me show you the application process is important, especially if you have an eye bag, and most of us do, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna come down to where your eye bag is. And if you're over 40, make sure you're using a peach tone concealer. The Pharmacy's O2 color is a peach tone. So you're gonna place it underneath your eye bag or right at the level of your eye bag. And then you're gonna come over here and do the same. So outside of the eye bag. If you're placing your concealer too close to your eye, you're gonna be accentuating your eye bag. Because that's what a lot of times what highlighter does is it highlights it, it brings it to the forefront. And so you want to make sure you're coming down just below your eye bag, and then you can use a brush or you can use your beauty sponge. What I like to do is start tapping, and I like to go up and down the side of the nose and then bring it over. And that way you're not putting a ton of product under your eye. By going up and down the side of the nose, you're using some of that product, and so then less is getting placed under the eye where the texture is. Bring it up the side of the eye here, but go back and make sure you tap all that in so you don't have a stripe on the side of your face. And just lightly tap it in. So the key is the placement and the fact that you're not using a ton of product under the eye where the texture is. I'm just using my finger for the warmth of my finger to help melt all the rest of that concealer in, because that's another thing. If you don't get it all blended in, it can look cakey. So let's go up and down the side of the nose with the beauty sponge, just tapping it in, and then we're gonna bring it across. We're still doing tapping motion. When I get to the side, I'm gonna bring it up and just keep tapping to get rid of that stripe on the side of your face. All right. All right, so I'm gonna use my finger once again to lightly tap in. All right, so then I'm gonna take a little bit of setting powder. So if you're using our loose powder, make sure that, let me show you, I'm gonna get some on here. Make sure that you're tapping it on the back of your hand first, to get the excess product off before you go and tap it on your face. And I'm just gonna use like a brush just to kind of lightly brush away any excess. You don't want too much powder, just a little bit. Okay, now you can stop here and be perfectly fine. I am going to set my liquids with powders. Like I said, you don't have to do this. I did do this with Deandra. I used our all-in-one palette for the contour powder, bronzer powder, I mean. I'm gonna use our Santorini bronzer powder for me, because I just know that this works better with my skin tone. She's much more tan than I am. So I'm just gonna go back over where I placed the contour. And again, you do not have to do this part. This is just going to help everything look a little bit more glam. And you guys know I'm extra, I like the glam. So I think I'm gonna do our Peach Perfect blush. I used Cool Queen on top of hers. And my nose is running again. I've gotta remember to start bringing tissues over here with me. I've got a paper towel. All right. So just placing the blush right on top. You can use very minimal amount now that you're just basically setting the liquid. Okay, then I'm gonna take my BB powder. Love our BB powder. It makes your skin look flawless. And I'm gonna go right underneath the bronzer with my powder puff. I like to come up the sides of the nose, a little bit on top of the nose, and then a little bit here on the forehead. I'm gonna take a powder brush that doesn't have anything on it and just kind of press everything in. Next, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. tapping everything in, all the powders. Same thing like you do when you're doing your liquids or your creams and you're using a dampened beauty sponge to press everything in and blend everything out. You're doing the same thing with the powder brush. I need a little bit more coverage down here, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more powder. Now, if you have more wrinkles, more mature skin, skip this powder part. I actually did not use powder on Deandra, but I just know I like the way it looks on me, so I'm gonna do it. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face because I like to do it before I do my mascara and I don't want to forget. So I'm gonna go ahead and do setting spray. If you have any questions about any of the techniques or the products, please let me know. All right, so I'm gonna do the brows real quick. I like to kind of start back here, move towards the front, doing small little strokes that mimic the hairs on your eyebrow so that it looks more natural. Just following the brow shape and just kind of filling in wherever I feel like I need to. Make sure you don't bring the tail of your brow too far down so that it doesn't drag your eye down as well. If you feel like you got too much product in there, just go back through and comb through it with your spoolie. I like a very simple, natural looking brow. But the key is that you just don't want to draw on like harsh lines. You want to do small strokes so that it looks like hairs, so it doesn't look drawn on and fake. All right, brows are done. Let's move on to, I'm gonna curl my lashes, but I'm going to then do my lips first before I do my mascara. I do want to talk about the mascara, but I want to show y'all the lip product I used on both makeovers on Saturday. Sometimes I will do that. I will love a lip that I did so much on someone that I'll just do it on multiple people from that day. Oh my gosh, my nose, y'all. I don't know why it runs when I get on here to do lives. Okay, I gotta curl the other side. If you're hopping on, please say hi. Let me know you're here. We are almost finished, but today we did underpainting, and I was recreating a look that I did on a makeover from Saturday. The lip was nude pink lip liner. Looking for my nude pink. I don't even know if I have a nude pink over here. I do not. So let me use, I can use Dirty Rose. You could also do the peach pink. Normally I would do the peach pink with this one. So this is Dirty Rose. The thing is, you just want it to be a slightly lined lip. You don't want it to be like too much darker than your natural lip color. Because then we are going to be using a glowy peptide lip balm in Toasted Cinnamon. And I absolutely love these lip balms. They have peptides in them, which over time helps plump out and make your lips more full. So these are wonderful lip balms, and I love the way they feel. And so I'm just gonna place this on. Look how pretty that is. Such an effortless lip look. Just a little bit, gives you some shimmer. That's the Toasted Cinnamon with the Dirty Rose lip liner, but I did use the nude pink on my makeovers from Saturday. Okay, so then mascara is gonna be last. We're using the Infinilash mascara. It's got a wand that has teeny tiny bristles that will get in there and grab all your little hairs, all your little lashes, I mean. So if you have thinning, sparse lashes, this is a great mascara for you. And what I suggest that you do is get as close as you can to a mirror. get all the way up close to your lash line and just do like a little tug back and forth and then pull up. You can slowly blink into your wand. That's gonna help coat the lashes. Slowly, just keep coming up your lashes. You can stop here, or you can go and do another coat, however you want. I love this mascara. When I'm doing makeup lessons, one of the things that I see people do is rush through the mascara. If you can take your time to really comb through your lashes, blink slowly into the wand, it is going to look better and you're going to get less product on your face. So I know we all get the mascara under the eyes and on the eyelids, but you'll get less of that if you're going slower. So, I mean, just look at the difference in the lashes here. This is amazing mascara. For me, most of mine gets underneath the eye because I have long bottom lashes. And I'm still using, I've never even gone back into my tube. Start off using less. You can always go back and add more. But you really don't need as much, probably, product as you think you do. Okay, so that is the finished look for today. I'm gonna go ahead and take my curlers out. So I curled with a curling iron each section, and then put them in the hot rollers to cool. I'm gonna twist the hair as I take the curlers out. These are new curlers that I'm trying. I haven't used these before, so hopefully they do good, but we'll see. So it's easy to get real tangled, so you just wanna kind of hold it and twist it to pull it out, because you want to have like a curl. Okay. So I'm just going to twist it and keep twisting as I pull. I got some hair wrapped around the little clip. All right, so I'm going to hold it at the root and then twist and pull. There we go. I'm not trying to yank out any hair while I'm doing this. This is thanks to my friend Audrey. I saw her do a tutorial where she did her hair like this, and I started doing it, and I really like the way that it turns out. It gives lots of volume and body, which I'm not used to having in my hair. There we go. And then I think I have one more left in the front. Let me check. Yeah. All right. And this one I curled to the front, whereas the rest of them are curled to the back. I'm gonna twist and pull. All right. So then the fun part, you're gonna flip your head upside down 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then you just let it kind of fall and use your fingers. I mean, look at all that volume. You're just gonna use your fingers to get it how you want it. This is amazing volume here. For me, I never get this kind of volume. It's amazing. And of course, if you want to pull your bangs down to the front, you can. There we go. And then I just spray it with some hairspray. And what I like to do, my hairspray's over there, is come up from the bottom. Let me go grab it. I'll show you real quick. I actually like to spray from the bottom up like this. I kind of use my hand here to kind of catch the hairspray and just kind of put it back on the hair. Because when you spray up here down onto your hair, you're kind of flattening your hair. So if you want the curls to hold, go from the bottom up, and then I just kind of use my fingertips just to kind of touch it a little bit. There we go. All right, so happy Monday. Hope y'all learned something new today. If you need any products, let me know. Again, we do have that promo that's going on that does end tonight. So if I can help you with a cart, please let me know. I'm happy to help. But y'all have a great Monday, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Mwah.